Oi, me friends, here be your old pal, Barkey O'Dog, back with another movie review. As you can see, it's St. Patty's Day once again, saints preserve us. Holy Mary, Mother and Joseph, am I ever ready to celebrate. First, I got me a box of Lucky Charms, I do. It's in the cupboard. And I got me this here wee dram of the green bar. Sharn it be. Oh, if only Aaron would go bradas. Okay, sorry Ireland. I know you people hate all that crap. And that everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day stuff. Irish folks really hate that. But at least I was born on St. Patrick's Day. It's my birthday. So I hope the Irish will give me a pass this time. Now, when it comes to movies for St. Patrick's Day, some people will say Finian's Rainbow or Darby O'Gill or something like that, but there's only really one film that matters, and that's this one. That's right. From 1952, John Ford's The Quiet Man, a love letter to the Emerald Isle. True, it's a love letter by way of American rose-colored glasses and a little touristy in its view, but it's a great film with a great cast. Now, I know the Twitter weirdos will go, John Wayne, Toxic Masculinity, cancel me. Well, that's how you feel about this movie. You can piss right off. This film has heart and humor and was made with love. Absolute love. No wonder they can't understand it. The Quiet Man, that's a four-paw picture right there, and a film you should definitely see at least once in your life. But everybody talks about that picture on St. Patrick's Day, so I thought I'd go a different route. This time we're taking on Blown Away, a suspenser from 1994. Now, this movie is not set in Ireland, it's set in Boston, but the fabric of Irish life and customs and community still shines through. Even today, there's a large population of people of Irish descent in Boston, and they take their heritage very seriously, and you can see that on display here. Now, this is a movie they wouldn't or couldn't make today. It is, in some ways, very much a product of its time. And I'm not just talking about those cell phones. They used to be cutting-edge tech. No, see, this is from 1994, so it's years before a certain date in September, and well before the Boston Marathon thing that happened. It was made in a more innocent time, probably a better time, if you ask me. Anyway, our story is about a man played by Jeff Bridges, who is an explosives expert on the police department's bomb disposal squad. He's a man with a secret past trying to rebuild his life, only now that past has caught up with him in the form of Tommy Lee Jones. That guy was in everything for a while. Couldn't even look at a movie unless it starred Tommy Lee Jones. He was in so many. See, in the story, back in the day, Bridges was a young Irish lad in Belfast when Tommy Lee O'Jones recruited him into the IRA. Jones was an explosives expert, a genius, in fact, and Bridges learned everything he knew about bombs from Jones. But Bridges never wanted anyone to get hurt. He was fine blowing stuff up during the Troubles, but not killing people. So he tried to stop a bombing in a crowded marketplace, and everything went wrong. Ultimately, Bridges got away, but the rest of the team got killed, except for Jones, who went to prison for the caper. He's held to this treason against Bridges ever since, but he was in jail and Bridges was out of reach, living his new life in America. But Jones secretly concocts an explosive compound and blasts his way out of the prison. From there, he escapes to the United States and is hanging with IRA contacts in Boston while he plots his next move. That's when he sees a news report featuring Bridges, and now he has a new mission. He sets out to systematically kill everyone close to Bridges, his friends, his co-workers on the bomb squad, his new wife and daughter, his uncle, even his dog. That bastard! And now it's a race against time to find Jones and stop him from any more killing. I've always loved this picture. It's another one of those 90s pictures that either gets dunked on, ignored, or forgotten, but I've always liked it. Has a great soundtrack, too. Bridges is in good form as the cop trying to hide his past while at the same time trying to be a better man than his younger self. Except when he tries a Boston accent. He's really bad at it. Even worse than he is when he attempts an Irish one. He tries it a couple of times. It was worse than what I did earlier. Jones isn't perfect in that department either, but he's a little better at the Irish accent. No doubt a real Irish person would disagree. Jones is excellent here. He's almost jokerish at times. He's utterly brilliant, a genius, but off-the-wall crazy too. And he loves working with found objects and toys. Knowing he'll be tracked down, he even makes an elaborate Rube Goldberg device to self-destruct his hideout. Really, the best thing about this movie is seeing Jeff Bridges play opposite his father, the still mighty Lloyd Bridges, in one of his final roles. Here, they don't play father and son, but uncle and nephew, and the elder Bridges gets the accent right. He's great as the irascible old Irishman with a twinkle in his eye, offering the younger man wise counsel and sage advice. By the end, I wish they had had more scenes together. The byplay between them is wonderful, and the scenes they do have together are just excellent. So, downsides? Well, I'd say this character, Franklin, played by Forrest Whitaker. Franklin is a new man on the squad, and he's cocky and arrogant, and kind of annoying, too. Bridges says that attitude is stupid in their line of work, and he's right. But by the end, you never really get the sense Franklin has matured. Oh, there's a few moments sprinkled in here and there when you see him wanting to do better, but by the end, they throw all that out and he winds up not growing much. But that's still not a deal breaker for this picture. Now, if you've never seen this picture, there are scenes that are real nail-biters. Like you know the bomber has been around, so you're on edge whenever someone turns on a light switch, or the oven, or opens a door. And you're just waiting for the big bang. The tension is handled very well. Okay, fun fact. I used to know the guy that owned that boat. Well, he was a part owner. I knew him well enough to say hello and chat a bit. I mean, I know who he was. He ran some local radio stations near where I lived. He always loved radio, but he hated all the regulation of it. He thought it should be like what we think of as the internet or YouTube. That if you wanted to have your own radio station, within reason, you ought to be able to. So from the time he was a teenager, he was always running afoul of the FCC by skirting the line or pushing the envelope or just generally being a nuisance. He ran pirate radio projects, but he also ran legal stations too, like the ones I mentioned. Anyway, the boat was used in a project similar to Radio Caroline, where they made a floating radio station, parked it offshore outside the international limit of Britain, and beamed their own radio shows into England. A fictionalized version of that was depicted in this excellent little film, Pirate Radio. So this guy, he wanted to do the same thing, but off the coast of the US. But the FCC didn't like that. They got this boat and rigged it out as a floating radio station and parked it offshore, and eventually the government seized the vessel and trashed all the equipment, and he was never able to remount the project again. And then there were all these legal problems. So this boat, or at least the hull of it, was what they used for the dolphin in the movie, Tommy Lee Jones's Hideout, which gets spectacularly blown up at the end. And the guy, he still works on radio projects today. So the movie, this is easily a 2.5 paw picture, and well worth a watch, if for nothing else than seeing Jeff and his father Lloyd play their roles together. Blown Away is available on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digitally from Amazon Prime. Well, that's all I've got for you this time. Hoist one in honor of the Emerald Isle, and I'll see you in the next video.